It is finally happening. You can see it right here. We will see work in progress gameplay from an in-development build, and all footage is subject to change of Warhammer 40K Total War. Now, you might be a little bit familiar, if you haven't seen this yet, with the footage which is shown, because this is the same footage they have shown at the PC Gaming Showcase a month ago at the Summer Games Fest. Now, this is 6 minutes and 30 uncut, because this is what they have shown at BilliBilli World. If I like the whomst, if you don't know BilliBilli, just a quick note, they are a gigantic Chinese streaming platform of animes, gaming, and they are also doing some gaming publishing and developing in the last few years. Like, they are just gigantic when it comes to the reach they have, and they are one of the go-to platforms in China when it comes to just watching gaming stuff. And so they have basically used their BilliBilli-Con, so to speak, to showcase this gameplay, which I find very interesting that they have actually chosen the Chinese platform for that. And it makes sense. Like, keep in mind that Total War is big in China, especially since the Three Kingdoms game. It has been growing quite a bit over there. Total War Warhammer is, of course, another one with a lot of the things they have been doing recently to get some of the Chinese factions up there. Right, so yeah, it makes absolutely sense that they are showcasing it there. Still interesting that we are basically had to go to BilliBilli to watch this, and then Creative Assembly was like, oh, wait a minute. You want to see this too in the West? Oh, yeah, no problem, we can do that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, duh. And so here we are. I haven't seen this yet. This is my first time, so I will react with you. And I think this is me enough talking. Keep in mind the audio is in Chinese, so I will lower it quite a bit, because subtitles is the way to go. So let's see. I think they have built-in subtitles, if I saw that right. Yes. So this is Armageddon. Well, we do know now that Armageddon and the new Armageddon Theater, which came with the newest edition of Warhammer 40K, will be in this game. So this is just a battle. They will not show us any of the turn-based related stuff. And this seems to be, yeah, orks versus the Imperial Guard. Okay, we can use orbital bombardment before the fight begins. I'm very curious about this. Yeah, we saw some of these snippets, as I said, at the PC Gaming Show, but it's definitely more interesting. Those damn black bars, man. Ultra wide. Ugh. Hello, Baneblade. So, let me have a pause here. I know people are like, no, not the pause. Yes, the pause. Because this is really the first time we're seeing some uncut view on what is going on here. And I haven't seen this yet. So if you want to see this completely without an idiot like YouTuber pausing this the whole time, the link to the video is below in the video description. So those seems to be the two heroes. It seems like we have two commissars. Then we have our guardsman, Ogren, Kazakhstan troop, I would say, Lehman Russ. This is another commissar, but not a hero. I'm kind of curious how this goes. Ogren, yeah, Lehman Russ. I don't, unfortunately, yeah, there we go. Some scouts. Really curious about all the abilities. Don't know what that is. This is the health. Makes sense. Movement speed, view. Okay, I would say this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already mentioned this, but this console interface, man. This is one of the things I truly hate when strategy games also come into consoles. Now, don't get me wrong. Consoles game, or like strategy games coming to console, amazing. That they are finally admitting that you can play those games on console and that they are doing something about it is so important for the whole strategy genre, and I'm super happy to see it. But unfortunately, what that means for everyone is that they are now utilizing this whole interface, which is made for all platforms. There's one interface, every platform has to use it. This is, and if you want to see the worst of it, play the newest Civilization. Civilization 7 has an absolutely obnoxious interface sometimes, and it's because they're using this interface on every device. And it did even go so far that a lot of important information were missing because they were like, oh, that might be too cluttered for consoles. I was like, what? This is strategy games. Like, it's about information. Give me that. Right? So, yeah, seeing this interface, it's all very compact because you have to move quickly with your controller around. And so everything is condensed and compact, and I just don't like it. Give me some space, man. I don't know. I don't like this much. We have some abilities here, it seems. This is from the outside of the planet, and assume this is by your commander. Then in the middle, we have defense. So Imperial Guard is defending against the orks. And I don't know if this is just a strength modifier, so that you can, this is always what they had in Total War games, right? That you could kind of get a glimpse of how does the fight go by just looking at the bar at the top and then realize, oh, okay, so my bar is bigger than the enemy's bar. Apparently we're doing well. I don't know if that's still the case or if this is something new. You cannot see this right now because my stupid face is in the way, but we are still doing the whole, this fight goes for an hour. You have an hour time, and if you cannot win or defend in that time, you lose. Makes sense. But yeah, we have vision, kills, movement speed. Sorry, not speaking Chinese. Not even simplified. I assume this is the level. I also assume that the eyes means they're not visible yet to the enemy. They haven't been seen, which is kind of cool. I like the idea that you will be invisible to the enemy till they see you. And you don't just have to be in the forest all the time. Yeah, they're the scouts, or the sentinels to be a little bit more precise. And they're really fast. They can do some damage depending on how the balance is in the game, but they are very much unarmored. So we have some Lehman Russ here. Oh, they are the orcs. Man, this shot is amazing. This shot is amazing because they're... When you look at the Total War battlefields, there was always a little bit of an emptiness. Which I understand, because if you were just playing some of the Total War games, especially at the release, the performance can be quite ass, let's face it. And there are some games out there which still nowadays are still running not great. So one of the things Creative Assembly has been trying to do over the years is to keep the battlefields relatively clean and boring, unfortunately. But this looks amazing. I mean, look at that. You have like some defensive areas here, some mini ruins. Like the maps also seem to be so much bigger. So much bigger now. Ugh. Maybe it just looks bigger because of like all the ruins on all the sandbags and whatnot in place. So they're going into cover. I love the new... Yeah, this. It gives me a little bit of Company of Heroes vibes. like we have seen, it's kind of funny because Relic is not with Sega anymore, but we have seen this in Company of Heroes 3, where they kind of tried to get some of the Total War mechanics into Company of Heroes, like the campaign, the turn-based map, the things which are now happening on the map, yada yada yada, which I found pretty cool. And now we see like some of the cover-based system we saw in the Company of Heroes games, of course, also here. And it seems like you can go up on destroyed buildings. I wonder what that does, stats-wise. Oh, okay, the Ogrins, not really the cover they need. Yeah, they're just going through that. They're the Lehman Russ. Can we... Okay, let me see if this is also available in 4K. Let me see if... bitrate is a bit better. Bitrate is a bit better. I don't think that the video was recorded in 4K. Definitely not. So they have only one vehicle. I would say that... Oh, there's the Baneblade. Hello. Hello. Okay, the orks are just going through there with the first grenades. Oh, the Meganobs, yeah. Glad to see the old Total War animations are still there a little bit, where units are just walking in between each other and looking at each other, and they're like, hey, you wanna fight? Maybe. Oh, there's the aerial support. I assume this is an ability. And I know people are like, oh, this looks super powerful, this is concerning. I wouldn't say so. Like, I very much see the air, artillery, or whatever support you were getting into the game very much like the magic support you had in Total War Warhammer, right? Instead of the Phoenix you were sending forward, you now have air support swooping in and bombarding that area. Keep also in mind, there are some cuts here. They have condensed this battle. There are some cuts here. I've already seen some cuts happening. So, yeah, this whole thing that they came in so fast and just destroyed everything in this area. Like, we don't know how much time actually passed. Oof. Oof. That's a lot of Storm Boys. Look, I'm not too much into... Oh, no. I'm not too much into orcs. I'm very much the... only a dead orc is a good orc. That's my knowledge I have about the orcs when it comes to lore. But I do have the basics. Okay, I love this, that you're now coming from the side. And you just rush through the walls because they didn't saw you. I wonder how much that will change the battlefield. Oh, so those are the reinforcements from outer space you can gain. Okay. Quick note. I love the reinforcement system. I think it feels more dynamic, and it also feels more like a control. Like, believe it or not, there were moments in the Total War series where reinforcements could have been a two-edged sword, right? Where they could be really helpful and they could turn the tide, or they could be absolutely useless because they took too long to actually arrive, and or they came out at a position where the enemy was just waiting for them and then absolutely would destroy them. And you couldn't really do much about it. Like, and before people now say, well, you can move around of where the reinforcements are actually spawning on the map. Yeah, and then I'm waiting 5 minutes till those reinforcements arrive after basically 90% of the fight has already happened. It really depends. Like, I just like the new system more. This seems to be an orbital barrage. I mean, I will be honest, he is talking about sacrifices here. It seems like there's only one unit which will be sacrificed, but you will get 6 orc units. I think that's a pretty good trade-off. Nice shot. Ooh, the pausing. Oh, that's a lot of body parts. Damn. It's crazy, though, how fast arrived there. And you couldn't really do much about it. And how much it actually killed. The biggest gun! Those things look so ridiculous. Unfortunately, they work. Get the Baneblade! Baneblade against Stomper, the super battle. I know this is a presentation and they kind of want to show like the Imperial Guard doing like the thing and not just getting obliterated. But I find it interesting that we don't see any engagement, like orbital engagement or support by the orc side, and we only see the Imperial Guard using their abilities here. Again, this is a showcase. Not fast. Okay, retreating and broken is still a thing. Yeah, this begs the question here, this last part, right? Where he says that, okay, this battle is over, but the fight for the planet, the fight for the system, the fight for the galaxy continues. Like, it seems like Total War Warhammer 40K is a much, much bigger game than the previous Total War games, and definitely bigger than Total Warhammer. But it makes me really think how quick those fights are. Because I will be honest, I always enjoyed, and this is my personal preference, but I always enjoyed the slower Total War games more. Like this whole thing with just armies clashing, and then after 5 minutes, everything is over, and you have to make so many fast decisions, or the enemy does so many fast decisions that, again, everything is over in 5 minutes, never appealed to me. I like to take it slow, methodical, like think about what my next step is and try to just see the bigger picture of it all. And again, this is a presentation, so they want to make it quick. They want to make it look like, wow, there's a lot of action here, because, you know, all the people who are watching this don't have 2 minutes of their day to watch anything or play, fight, whatever. And I'm really curious how much this is because of the presentation, or how much this is actually the game. Right. So this looked good. I'm impressed. What I really liked, and this is the small detail, was this whole thing. Right, where he brought his units into position right here and was waiting for the enemy to cross the river to then just smash through the wall and get him from behind. Like, that you cannot see the full army, that you actually have to find them now, and no, not just standing in the forest. Such a cool thing. Such a cool thing. And I really want to see utilizing your surroundings. Right? Because there was always this problem a bit, especially when you were looking back at Total Warhammer. Higher tier units, bigger, more armored, higher tier units were most of the time always the right choice, right? And you would kind of abandon the lower tier starter units. Because let's be honest here, they didn't really bring anything to the table. And Sentinels would definitely be one of those units where I would say at some point, why should I take them with me? But now they can actually be the scouts. They can be fast. They seem to have a high few range, right? They had like 350. And well, of course, we do not know how high the view range of other units are. But it seems like they have a very high view range, so they are fantastic to scout and to see if maybe you can fall like enemies in the back when they are in position. I want to see something very quickly. This is 3, 6, so it's still 20 units. They are still doing 20 units per army. Because no, this could work out. On the minimap and here, it looks like they have some more units than that. But again, Total War was always good at scale, right? Like even small army fights could look pretty big because, well, one unit was multiple units on the battlefield. I am so curious about this. He was, of course, also moving his Ogrin in that position, so he destroyed the cover. Totally not me playing Total War or the Warhammer Total War. Totally not. And it's gone. Yeah, I'm really interested also to see the choke point. So this is also a super interesting move here, right? Like from a Total War perspective, what the orc player is doing here is bad. They're not taking the bridge. They're going through the water. And you don't want to do that, especially not in Total Warhammer, because you get some hefty debuffs. And if you are unlucky, you might even have some enemies which are also getting some hefty buffs while they're in the water. Like they added with the recent, or one of the most recent patches, they added aquatic, right? And whenever a unit has aquatic, they get a buff instead of a debuff standing in the water. And so that adjusts up. And I'm pretty darn sure the orcs are not aquatic. I'm curious how the water is doing. I would love to see some stats. Oh yeah, look at that. The tank had only 150 in comparison to the scout. So yeah, that's a big improvement in how far you can see. Also, is it just me? Like, is that really a Baneblade? I'm getting confused right now. I have to look into the lore again. No, that is a Baneblade, right? It looks a little bit more compact than I have it in the back of my head, but variations. So there's the oof. Yeah, the orcs basically ate all the special attacks. Also, they're standing there beautifully. They were just eating all of it. That was basically what turned the tide here, right? Like the orcs just ate all the support from space and got obliterated. Like, would love to see this fight from the orcs' perspective. Yep. Would love to see it. Like, what went wrong. So now they're in a big fight, and it seems like the orcs have a little bit the upper hand, or they already got reinforcements. But Because of them, they can break through the walls. They can now go through here. They can fall into their back. Which flanking is never that exciting when on the receiving end. Also, what the hell is that position? I just noticed that. Look, that gunner, like, he has been doing this for 20 years now. He is one day away from just going on a vacation. Not retirement, because retirement is only in death here. He's going on a 24-hour vacation after 20 years of service, and this is the last fight he has to do on that specific position on the back of the tank without any cover or protection. I mean, he has, of course, the best protection in the world, and the Emperor protects. But with that said, speaking of which, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And looks good. Looks Total War-esque. And I know I have already complained about like the interface and all, but we will see. Maybe they will do some changes. But if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like. It helps out a ton. And also, if you're new to the channel, you love strategy games, not just Total War, not just Warhammer, but you love strategy games, you came to the right place. That's what we are focusing on here on the Mole Under Management channel. And there will be more videos, actually very soon. There will be another Total War Warhammer 40K video very, very soon. I can guarantee you that, so make sure to subscribe. With that said, hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe.